Hello, my name is Nick, and I am an engineer. And today, welcome to the fourth tutorial My Kerbal Space Program tutorial series. And today, we shall be heading to one of the two nearest celestial bodies to us. I'll tell you exactly when, once we get into space. So basically, if you click on the launch pad, this is something I don't think I've shown off. If you click on the launch pad, we're able to select a vehicle from you'll be able to select a vehicle that is saved in the vehicle assembly building area. Same thing happens if you click on the runway, except it'll be from the spaceplane hangar. It's something you build in the spaceplane hangar. So I'm going on to I'll be taking Munma shot. I built this rocket as a separate tutorial, explaining in full detail because it uses an interesting staging system. Anyway, so now I shall go to launch. Now, in order to get this into space, what I suggest you do is follow the procedure you do is as if it were every other rocket. Just remember, if the external fuel tanks are about to run out of fuel, try to position yourself to where you're not moving anywhere but upward. Like, you're not moving around the nav ball. Like, if the nav ball's moving around, you should probably prevent it from moving around before your external stacks fully run out of fuel. Because if not, you could run the risk of having one of your external stacks hitting other parts of your rocket and causing it to explode, and that wouldn't be good. So anyway, I will meet you in a 100-kilometer orbit, because you should probably know how to orbit stuff this time, but at this point. So here I am in a 100-kilometer orbit. I have most of my fuel left in the center stack, which is sort of it is the advantage to having a spare staged rocket. And now comes the landing part. Now, the two nearest celestial bodies to us is the Mun and the Minimus. I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's your first time getting to a celestial body, go for the Mun. If you're landing on a celestial body, however, go to Minimus. It takes more fuel to get there, although it has such low gravity that makes landing there very easy. So what we're going to do, first of all, check if we're lucky enough to have the Oberth effect. Well, actually, no. That is the first thing you do. You set Minimus as a target. Now you see, Minimus is at an inclined orbit of Kerbin. So what we have to do is that we have to do a plane change. So we find either the ascending or descending node, add maneuver, and then adjust it to where the ascending and descending nodes flip. Like so. Let me do this a little more perfectly. More perfect. And there we go. We are at our difference if we do this absolutely correctly, our difference will be lower than 0.0 degrees. So, okay, now we have to do is line ourselves. We'll take 17-second burn, so if we're going to do 50-50 burn, start about 9 seconds. Soundtrack's okay. Okay, now let's just... Oh no, I know what's going on. It's not there. Because we're doing a plane change, it's not gonna be our prograde or retrograde. So we're gonna lie ourselves with that section of the nav ball. now we are set. All you have to do is wait for the node to come to us. Well, actually, it'd be more accurate for us to go to the node. Anyway, as you can see, I also have my solar panels deployed. Oh, and also something else. One thing you may want to know is that U is for lights on, in case you're, well, if you are doing a night launch and you just feel like having the effect of the lights. So anyway, just waiting for a maneuver node. 2 seconds, 1 second. 11, 10, 9, 8. Zero, zero. 0, 0. Just do a little stabilization. And now we check the Oberth effect. If we're lucky enough to have the Oberth effect. Again, like in my other tutorial, burn outwards. Further outward. I think we have an account. We just have to see that. Yeah, we have an account. Turn. Again, about a 20 kilometer. I'm sorry, it's just so far away. The slice budge gives it like 10 meters a second. Time. Yep. Okay, let's just align ourselves. This time with the prograde marker, which is now changed on our position, our artificial horizon. So we now move over to the maneuver marker, wherever it shall be. So yeah, exactly 30 seconds, we will begin our transfer burn. "23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just gonna slow down. 5, 4. Okay. 2, 31, 30. Anyway, so now we're burning. And we should be heading towards. Our orbit should be increasing in the general direction of Minimus. Anyway. Tweet. Anyway. Again, burning up our fuel. How much fuel do we have left? Plenty, okay. Still plenty. That was way too far. And, actually, on the way there, I'm actually gonna make a maneuver. Yeah, 24. I'm gonna leave it at that. And because we wait until we're very far out, we only need like 3 seconds of burn. Anyway, so that was a little bit of a failure. Or of maneuver no planning. Anyway, so now we shall align ourselves with the node marker. And time accelerate. And look at it from our ship's point of view. We're leaving Kerbin. We still have hours to go. Said. Anyway, right now I'm just hoping that this is an encounter. This is actually rather risky in terms of going about it. And please be an encounter. Yes, it was an encounter. Okay, our periapsis. 21. Very good. Very, very good. And it's by a polar orbit, and that isn't exactly a good thing, neither is it exactly a bad thing, at least for an encounter. So now we're going to do a circularization burn. Burning. Anyway, and we're also going to do a... That isn't how it was supposed to go. I guess in this direction. No. Back in this direction? Okay. Dang it! Quit doing that. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm always in the... Wait a second. Okay. I feel like I've put myself in a better position now. You don't really want to be in a polar orbit around Minimus. That's something you want to know. You do not want to be in a polar orbit around Minimus. You're already in a different plane. You don't want to be in a polar orbit. This is going to help you when you go back to Kerbin. Anyway, now back to the maneuver. Time accelerate. Four, 3, 2, 1. Whoa, 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 whoa. So at 7 seconds, I'll start the 50-50 burn. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's not really a bad thing to be in polar orbit around Minimus. Now I'm thinking about it, since I'm really considering the positioning of Minimus and Kerbin. 0 meters a second. Approximately. And we're gonna take our periapsis, which should be lower. Add a maneuver here to decelerate. Okay. Again, a burn that's less than a second. Don't I just love these? Okay, so well, actually, they're very good in terms of, hey, you can do this much without giving up this much fuel, but I also hate because that means you have to burn very precisely. And your maneuver node is so jittery during that. Like, this is like 60 meters a second. I'm actually using a rather fast engine. I like how... Let's do 5 times acceleration. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time accelerate to stay results. Now, when landing on Minimus, you see those little things? Those like little beds of what is either like, people say it's ice, although some people say it can't be ice considering the positioning of it and the sun. And I've heard some theories about it being salt. You want to try aim for those, because those are at sea level and they're flat. Me, I'm not going to do that. Reason why? Because I'll actually extend that a little bit, because I know the way it would work. Actually, I may hit one. You really want to aim those, because those are the, again, smooth, and they're at sea level, so that this meter up here will actually help you a lot more than it already does. Like, it isn't useless, it's even more helpful. Well, now, so we're just gonna, it takes 2 seconds of burn. We're just gonna align ourselves to node. 19 seconds, 17, 16, 15, 13, 12, 11, 10. And now, after we complete this node, at about 0 meters a second, I'm going to change it to where everything is relative to the surface, because we're landing on the surface. And we gotta see everything as if we were from the surface, so we can align ourselves. So let's just head downwards. I'm gonna take my time and around 10 kilometers. I'm gonna actually start decelerating even more. Okay, from the looks of it, it looks like my trajectory will probably not be the ice bed. Whatever. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 2. Again, for this, you do not want lateral movement. One thing you want to know, you do not want lateral movement when you land, so try to keep your retrograde node in the center of the blue side of your nav ball. Anyway, so now that's in the center of the blue side of the nav ball, we can time accelerate, because now we're going vertically. Again, you do not want lateral velocity, you want vertical velocity. If you have lateral velocity, then your spacecraft could tip over. Okay, around here, around 4,000 meters, although I suggest more like 6,000 meters to start doing this burn. This is gonna be our last burn with, well, actually, let me check real quick. This is gonna be our last burn with this booster, so we're gonna use all that fuel to get us close to 0 meters a second. Okay, and with that, separate. Okay, now, to lower your landing gear, press G and then G again. For some reason, it always starts it where it says it's deployed when it's not deployed. But hey, now you're gonna have to do this with an LV909 engine, which is pretty good for landing if you know what you're... if you basically take things rather cautiously, which is something I did. And because we're below 3,000 meters, we cannot time accelerate. We have to like where we are now. And now we're with our little craft, which actually, because of how it handled with the craft we were just using, may actually be a little bit unwieldy, because this has much better handling. Well, actually, no. It's a little slippery compared to the other one. For this, you can use physical time acceleration, which, if you don't know, it's Alt time acceleration keys. Anyway, and considering how close we are, that's about 500 meters. Which, actually, judging by it, yeah, we have debris of it that'll survive. That's minimus gravity for you. So anyway, we're just gonna slow down quite a bit. Sort of delve towards the suicidal part of the suicidal of what's known as a suicide burn. These legs will protect you for of an impact of about, if I'm correct, 12 meters a second. Although I do not suggest you come slamming towards the ground at 12 meters a second. Again, because then it could really mess you up. If you're very bad. Dust on this. Well, actually, that's completely possible. And now we're just lowering ourselves to where we're touching down softly. And now we SAS. And now we make it to where we're settled down. Whoa. As you can see, our capsule torque is SAS. Yeah. Our capsule torque is very strong on the surface display. Now, in the event where you're landing and you see your spacecraft start to flip over, full throttle and point your ship upwards. Because if you fall over, well, on Minimus, as I just demonstrated, it isn't a big deal, but if you're landing on the Mun, you're basically stuck on there, which is why I suggest you go to Minimus first. But hey, we're on Minimus, so let's deploy this ladder, turn off SAS, and EVA. And oh, again, exploding wings, randomly exploding. Now, when thinking about in retrospect, this ladder isn't necessary at all for Minimus, because look how high we can jump here. Well, first of all, look at our walk. And jump. So yeah, now you're on Minimus. You landed on Minimus. And now you're taking steps. You can take this time when you're taking your first steps to say something about small steps and giant leaps. Record some of it and maybe label it so that you don't accidentally record over that, unlike some other space program. I wonder what although I sort of forgot what that space program is called. I think it starts with an N. Whatever. So anyway, you can also use it to take a screenshot. I'm doing this with Steam, so I'm not sure if it's different with the computer version. Like, not computer, with the non-Steam version. But it's F2 to hide the HUD, and F12 to take a screenshot. Okay? Put the HUD back, reset my camera, and also, planting a flag. We should probably do that. At a safe distance. Turn on our RCS pack. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We can also use our RCS pack to probably get up here. Same thing with the MUN. In reality, you don't need RCS packs. Okay, you don't need ladders. Okay, so now we're gonna plant a flag. I'm gonna call it Small Steps and Giant Leaps. And here, okay, and we can also right-click it and take down or read the plaque. And anyway, yay. And now, we've walked around, we planted a flag. If this was career mode, you could do an EVA report and get a surface sample. And now we're walking slowly back to the spaceship we arrived on. I'm actually gonna have to take a step away from it. That's actually something else, is positioning yourself with the ladder, maybe a little... Whoa! You saw that, right? Our jump just went like... Woo! So, now it's time to return home. So, of course, first we're gonna retract the ladder. To lift off, full throttle and head over towards this area. 90 degrees. Reading the map. Again, because it's such low gravity, due to the gravity being very low, the LV-909 actually can give you a lot of boost. Anyway, retract the landing gear. And again, if you're landing on the dark side of Minimus, in which case, why? Well, maybe you're trying to land on something and then you did the maneuver and realized that it's now on the dark side. U is the hotkey for the lights. Anyway, so now that we've done that, we can go place and maneuver our apoapsis and circularize this. That is not circularized at all. 20, 22, 21, 20. Okay. I think that's as close as we're gonna get. And because it's the LV-909, we can actually do we can do our burns more precisely. Anyway, so let's just align ourselves with the maneuver node. Time accelerate. 2, 1. Again, 50-50 burn. So I plan on doing... Actually, no, I plan on doing a low thrust burn. Yeah, 50-50. We'll start... And the game's confused what camera angle we should use. 3, 2, 20. Okay. So now, what we have to do is that we have to, from our position, get home to Kerbin. So, first of all, I actually suggest... Well, actually, first of all, get a maneuver and burn outwards till you're doing something like that. Except you're not an escape course. Not an escape velocity. Again, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Again, just mess around with this to get to optimal position. Again, something around 20. Again, I'm just toying around with it and being concentrating. 18's good, and always make sure you're not burning into the planet. Because it would suck if you burned into a... If you did your maneuver, then you realize you're on a collision course with Minimus. Or the Mun. The buttons. Okay. Now, yes. And now we shall time accelerate. Dun, 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 dun. Original. That's original if I'm correct. Okay, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. 34, so that'll be like 17 seconds. Maneuver noting. And now we are leaving Minimus. We'll first check. I bet it's gonna jump, so don't decouple that command pod yet. Anyway, so now we're leaving Minimus. It was such a good moon. It is such a good moon. It's probably, yeah, as I said, it is such a good moon. It's the beginner stop 6. That's very... What direction are we heading? That direction, okay. Head close to it, add a maneuver. $28, 26. $20, okay. So now we set up to where we're not burning nearly as closely. Well, burning. Yes, we'll be burning up the atmosphere. To where we're not entering the atmosphere at such a high velocity. Anyway, so we're coming in. 3, 2, 1. Less than 1 second of burn. Again. Here's a second. So now, where's Kerbin? We're currently flying towards the planet of Kerbin. And standard re-entry procedures should be followed. I'm acting like we're at some sort of academy or something. Well, then again, you're watching a tutorial, so... yeah. I just made things somewhat awkward. So now that we're inside the atmosphere, decouple. Bye to the service/landing module. Service/lunar module, and time accelerate physically this time. So yeah, I can't believe I did all that screw-ups where it was mainly because earlier I got KW rocketry and was trying to recreate a Delta 4 Heavy, and I was doing a lot of zooming in and out. So that's probably why, because in order to zoom in the VAB, you have to hold shift and then scroll wheel, because if you do scroll wheel without holding shift, it goes up and down instead of in and out. So I guess that's the reason why I was really derping up at a lot of points. In fact, where are we landing? Very far out. Far out, dude. Okay, we're landing on the land. Hopefully not something mountainous. Killjoy. Okay, actually, if we are... Nah, we're coming in too fast. Okay, so we're coming in from Minimus, which is somewhere up there. I don't think you can see it from Kerbin. You can see the Mun from Kerbin, but I don't think you can see Minimus. Or if you can, it's like only like a set of pixels. So now, our Ape Oasis. Getting smaller. 42 minutes. Actually, now I'm looking at the time, it's like 42 minutes at this point. Thank goodness I made the rocket a separate tutorial. Because I do not like, long tutorials I can live with, but like tutorials that are over that are over an hour or 50 minutes, just I don't like those. So anyway, we are now coming in. Deploying chutes. Anyway, so now coming in faster and faster and faster and faster. And now we're here and we shall touch down fast. I'm doing 4 times time acceleration because this tutorial is already like 44 minutes long. And this is with me pausing at some points and skipping over the entire launch sequence. So yeah, and now we are here. So we shall EVA, stand up, and if I'm correct, we should have another flag on us. Yep, so EVA report, Highlands, map report, mountain, grasslands, Highlands, plant flag, EVA report, Highlands. So this shall be 3 Highlands, if I'm correct. Because it's our 3rd flight. Highlands. And I even did it wrong. Okay, so that means I'm gonna have to redo the flag. I'll come back when I read. Does this look much better? Okay, so now we're closed it, and we shall run back to our command pod, board it, and recover the vessel. And so, in this tutorial, what have we done? We flew into orbit around Minimus, descended onto the surface of Minimus, and returned back to Kerbin. You have successfully landed on another celestial body. Now, what should I cover next? Well, I know I'm going to cover next, but the one after that. What do you think I should cover? Leave your suggestions. Till then, I'm Nick, and I'm an engineer, signing off.